Hi everyone, welcome to DS Technic. This channel is dedicated to deliver content related to SharePoint online customizations. This video is a part of SPFx development series. And today we will be seeing how to develop SPFx extension using list view command set extension template. Along with that, we will also see how to hide details pane. This details pane is present in SharePoint Online list and libraries. And this is the hot requirement from most of the SharePoint users who maintain sensitive information in their list and libraries and want to prevent the other users from editing metadata values. So let's get started. In SPFx extension, there are three types. Depending upon the need and the outcome that you wish to have, you can select among these three types of extensions. These are Application Customizer, Field Customizer, and Command Sets. In Application Customizer, you will be able to embed script onto your page, and based on the script's functionality, the page will reflect the outcome of your scripting. Since in modern online SharePoint pages, we are not able to embed script through the old school methods like script editors or content editors, this application customizer extension will come handy in those requirements. So, through application customizer, you are also able to access HTML elements so that you will be able to embed your logic through the codings that you will be doing using this application customizer. Field customizer. This is mainly used to alter the rendering of the list data or values. For example, let us assume that you have a mark sheet list and you are logging students' details and their respective marks in their respective subjects in the list. So if you like to color code the marks based on their percentage and indicate the pass and fail percentage, you can do that using Field Customizer. Next is the command set. With command set, you can add buttons to the toolbar or you can add menus in the context menu ECB menu section of each list or library items. Today, in this video, we will be seeing command sets. I'm going to open command prompt window. Here, I'm going to change the location of my path to store the project that I'm going to create. And that path would be, copy the path, here I'm going to use the Viewman generator. Here, the generator asks me a couple of basic questions which is required for the project creation. So let me answer them. The first one is what is the solution name? And it also prompts the default selections or data which can be applied to the questions. I don't want to go with the basics, so default. So I'll be giving command set extensions. Okay, next, I'm going to keep the default here because my targeted system is SharePoint Online, so that's okay. And yes, I want to use the current folder. For this, I'm going to say no. This is a simple extension that I'm going to use, so I would say no. Till here, the steps to create webpath or extension is the same. If I select webpath, the template for webpath will be created or added. But for this video, I'm going to use extension. And yes, as we saw, we have three extension types: Application Customizer, Field Customizer, and List View Command Set. So I'm going with List View Command Set. I would like to keep it hello world. What is your command set description? Basic default is okay. Now Yeoman generator creates and adds the necessary packages that is required for my list view command set template. While this takes few minutes, let us go and see what is happening in the backend. In my location, I can see all these folders and files have been created and added to my folder location. So these are the packages or the code template that is added for my requirement. When the scaffold is complete, you will be able to see the following message indicating the successful scaffold. Because the SharePoint client-side solution is mostly HTML or TypeScript based, you can use any code editor that supports client-side development to build your extension. So here we will be using the basic no JavaScript for basic extension, and we will be installing jQuery for hiding our details pane. So now let's go to our code VS Code Editor to check out our extension template project folders that has been created. If you guys want to know how to set up a SharePoint framework environment, please do check out our previous video, which explains you in detail how to set up a SharePoint framework development environment. The link, you can access it from our description. Now here you can see the how the solution structure looks. This is the basic SharePoint framework solution structure, and it is similar across all the solution types, be it the web parts, extension, or any types of extensions. Here we can see VS Code config, node module, SharePoint, and source. So let us open source. And under source, our extension code resides. Here we have hello and one TypeScript hello TS command set. Let us open hello world command set.manifest.json. Here you can see the ID, which is the unique ID for this command set extension that we have created. We need this ID later when we use it for debugging and deploying our extension to the SharePoint. Below you can see the basic commands, command 1 and command 2. These are the basic template that is provided by Microsoft attached with this list view command set, providing us the two default commands over here. And here you can see title, the name of the command 1, command 2, and the title name of the command 2. Along with that, you have an icon image URL. So the default images, you can attach your own image here, and the type, of course, it is a command. Currently, images are not properly referenced unless you are referring to them from absolute locations in a CDN within your manifest. This, I believe, to be improved in future releases. Now let's go to the TS file. Here we can see certain kinds of commands like import. So here I have imported override from Microsoft decorators. I have imported log from SP core library. I have imported dialog also from SP dialog. So these import commands will help us in importing certain modules from the existing package. We are able to see a dialog.alert under the command 1 and command 2, and this resides under onExecute function. So ultimately, this command 1 on clicked will open a dialog alert, and same goes for the command 2. These are the default functionality that is provided. And here let's go to on list view updated. This is an event. Ultimately, These commands are visible only when only one row is selected. I repeat, only when exactly one row is selected. When the multiple list rows or library rows are selected or none are selected, these buttons will not be visible. We can create context menu and command bar using this list view command set. So we can either create both of them or either of them. So we will see where this difference is being made. Let's go to config serve.json. Here in this serve.json, we will be able to see the page URL and in important data, location, where it points to, client-side extension, list view command set, command bar. So when this is specified, it means my list view command set extension will make those commands appear on my toolbar. If I remove it, then this particular extension will make my command buttons appear in both the command bar, which is the toolbar, and in the context menu. Suppose I want it specifically to be available in the context menu, then I have to provide that's simple. Now let me leave it to command bar. Going back to my TS TypeScript file, instead of this alert button, I'm going to add some functionality so that on selecting the list item, I'll be able to view two commands, view and edit, and that will be navigating to the respective view properties and edit properties page. So let us put this functionality into a real-time scenario. Let us assume that there is a company application site, and in the company application site, I'm having and maintaining a list which collects the employee training details. And you can see the metadata that is maintained: employee ID, first name, middle name, last name, training ID, name, score, and grade. So the requirement of this company is that this list can be accessed by the employees to update their information, but they should not be able to bulk edit the information. They should not alter the information, the basic information like employee ID, first name, last name, training ID, after the item is created. And let us take a closer look into what is there in this modern list. We have the modern view of this list, plus on the right hand side, we are having a details pane. This is present and available in all the modern lists and libraries. This particular feature, which is provided by the Microsoft, helps us to quick edit the information present in the list and libraries. But this is also a hindrance to all the lists and libraries which maintain sensitive data and which doesn't want the users to bulk edit and alter the important information that is being maintained. So in that case, we do not want this feature because it is not that flexible like our classic SharePoint list new form and edit form, which allows us to embed the script and allows us to add the functionality like disable the fields in order to stop the end user from altering the data. But here in Open Details pane, this is not possible. So we are going to hide this details pane. On clicking of this item, we will be able to see the item here. Let's see, it has the permissions over here, and it shows who can access this list item, and you can alter the manage access. In the properties section, you'll be able to see all the properties and you have a link to edit it all. So on clicking this, it will be opening editable view of this list item. There are multiple ways to implement this scenario. You can also use Power Apps in order to customize the fields over here based on the requirements that we have. But here I'm not going to use Power Apps, but I'm going to play with the technology that we already know, that is the classic one. Go to command set manifest.json. Here, let's change the name of the command. This will be my view. And this one, my edit. Go back to TypeScript file. On the list view updated method, I'll be adding few commands. Right now we have compare command 1. I'll be creating another constant for compare command 2. Without adding this code, on selecting of the list item, only one command will be visible. So I want both the commands to be visible, and hence I'm going to add the same code for edit button also. So both will be visible when an item is selected. Now on execute function, I'm going to remove this dialog. In order to keep track of the current selected item, we need to hold that value inside a constant. I would call it item ID. I'm getting the ID value from the selected item. Now to open the display form, we will have to add this code. On the click of the command 1, it will replace the current location URL with the list URL with the display form URL, plus adding the parameter that we have captured, item ID. And for the next command, we will be following the same thing, but instead of opening the display form, we will be opening the edit form. So I'll copy this code. Instead of display form, I'm going to have edit form. And instead of item ID, I'm going to declare a new item ID 1. The nature of the code is that this functionality is applicable to all the lists and libraries. But we do not want this to happen to all lists and libraries. So I am going to confine this functionality to our employee training details list. So let me add a if condition. Now, as per our code, these two commands will be presented as a command bar. So let's check it. Now let's test our code so far. So on pressing Ctrl and tilde, I'll be having the terminal. Now this code will run in our local host unless and until we make a small change in our serve.json. I've already made this change. I have updated the list URL over here. So when I try to debug the code, it will open the list URL directly and embed the scripts for debugging. So let's try that. Let us build it. Upon building the solution, two new folders are created. One is library and 10. Okay, next we will run gulp serve. This command will open our list and will embed the debugging scripts onto the list. If you closely look at the URL, the debug manifest file and few more query parameters are added to our list URL. So I will allow it to load the debug scripts. Now we can see our employee training details list items. So before I could do anything, I can see there are no buttons right now under the command bar. And at my right hand side, I can see my details pane. Now on clicking off one of the items, I'll be able to see two new commands that we have created. So we got our view and edit commands. And on clicking the view button, I'm navigated to the display form of the item that I selected. On clicking the edit, I'll be able to navigate to the edit mode, edit form. So we are good with our code. Now let's stop this terminal running. I'm closing the terminal. One more step we have in this requirement is to hide the open details pane. And to hide this pane, we would require the help of jQuery. Right now under our node modules, we do not have any packages for jQuery. We have to install the jQuery. For that, I'm going to open the command prompt from the folder location. The Save option enables NPM to include the packages to the dependencies section of the package.json file. You can see that under this command execution, we have installed jQuery and jQuery UI of the corresponding versions. In order to run another command, we have to install TSD. In order to include typings, we have to run another command. If you run npm install tsd, it will be installed, but it will not be available as a command. So do not forget to include -global on your command. Okay, we will run the next command to include typings. Okay, now let's go and check in our Visual Code. Let us refresh. Under Node Modules, let us see if we could find. Yes, we have jQuery and jQuery UI installed. The next step would be to import the jQuery.min file inside our code. We are going to import inside our TypeScript file. Import star as jQuery This is the alias name that we are using from jQuery. Include the jQuery UI under the require. We are using under this event because under any circumstances, we do not want the Open Details button or the Open Details pane to be visible for us. I have already captured the required button ID and the respective classes that are required for us to attach our display none CSS styling. You can see over here we have mentioned as jQuery. So this is what the alias name of the actual jQuery. Okay, you can see import jQuery. So with the help of these two pieces of code, we will be able to hide the Open Details pane and the button itself from our view. Okay, we can test this code. I've saved it, opening the terminal. I'm going to run it again, gulp serve. The gulp serve command has loaded our list. I'm going to load debug scripts again. But before that, let's see. We have employee training details and we also have the Open Details button and the Open Details pane. Okay, so let's see. Now I got view edit button and I don't have the Open Details pane over here. So on clicking both, I'm not having the view and delete edit buttons. Also, I don't have the details pane to do bulk editing. So my requirement is satisfied. So this is how we created a list view command set extension to add two buttons, and in the same extension, we have also added the jQuery commands to hide the details pane button and the details pane itself. Now we will be running a bundle command to bundle all the JS and CSS files and make it ready in CDN. It also creates a new folder, which is the dist folder. Next, we are going to package the solution to create the .sppkg file. This is done, and you can see in the SharePoint folder, you have another folder created by this command. Under that, we have our solution package file created. So this is the file that we are going to deploy to our application site. The deployment of solution package can be done at tenant level and at our site collection level. The complete process of the deployment we can see in the upcoming videos. So folks, we have seen in this video how to create a SharePoint extension, and using the extension we have created two commands using the list view command set template, and using the two commands we have navigated to the view form and the edit form of a SharePoint list. We have also added integrations with jQuery to our extension, and using that we have hidden Open Details pane button and the pane itself. So guys, if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe to our channel for more interesting and development related videos. Thank you. Much love, keep learning.